What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Track Talk Podcast. We are your hosts, Emma and Hannah, and we are back for another race recap episode. This is our recap of the Austrian Grand Prix. And I almost said Australian because all weekend my sister kept saying Australian Grand Prix. And I was like, no. But she almost just got me.
She tried.
Yeah. We did watch it together.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's so nice.
We were at the cabin. So I got, we have to share a room at the cabin. So I mean, she would have watched it anyways, but I got up and I was like, look, what's going on here? And then I was like, actually, you have 10 more minutes to go back to bed. And then 10 minutes later, we woke up and watched it.
Same thing. I was at a cabin this weekend for a bachelorette. And I was sharing a bed with like a friend of a friend, someone I didn't really know much before this weekend. But I woke up early-ish on Saturday morning and I was like, oh, like I have time to watch qualifying. So I put it on at like the lowest volume because I was like, I just like there's someone sleeping next to me, like I want to try to be quiet. But then like 2 hours later, like we were just like all in the kitchen like hanging out, and this girl, her name's Jen, she was like, were you watching?
I know her.
Do you?
Yeah.
She likes F1. I had no idea.
Oh really? Yeah.
She was like, we watching F1 this morning? And I was like, yeah, I'm so sorry, like I was trying to be quiet. She's like, no, I love F1. Like,
did you not tell her you have a podcast?
I think she knew, but like we didn't talk about it until like she asked if I was watching F1. And then she was like, can I talk to you about F1? Like, is that annoying? And I was like, not annoying at all. Like, yes, you can talk to me about F1. Anyway, yeah, I didn't know you knew her.
I do know her, yeah. Well, in another life, but yeah. She definitely, like, we still follow each other. She definitely, if you asked her, would know me. Okay, quick little debrief stop. Emma and I had to debrief about our weekends.
Off camera, though.
Off camera. But we're back.
Just a little catch up.
Okay, so you watched F1.
Watched qualifying, and then watched the race.
Okay, yeah.
I watched like some of the race, but then I couldn't watch all of it just because middle of bachelorette stuff. But I did eventually like watch all of it. I'm glad I did. It was entertaining.
It was a really good race.
Like the entire time, I was like, Oscar and Lando, one of them is gonna collide into one of them.
Yeah, and then when the gap between them started to build, I was like, okay, like this is nothing really interesting is gonna happen here. But then they caught up to traffic, and then more happened. So yeah, we'll get to it. I now work again on Saturdays, so I didn't get to watch qualifying live. I saw some highlights, but it didn't seem like there was anything too crazy except for our guy Liam Lawson, P6.
I know, that was
so
like
good.
Incredible.
Yes,
his best starting position.
Yeah. Yep. Best or second best?
I think best.
Okay, I thought it was second best, but okay, we can go with best.
We'll go with best,
and then best results as well.
Also finished P6.
Yeah. So congrats, Liam. He literally was so close to getting all caught up in like the Kimi Antonelli, Max Verstappen turn 2 incident.
No, I thought you said lap 2. I was like, no, that was a lap 1.
No, turn 2 incident. He even may have been slightly hit, but it didn't cause any damage. It didn't seem so.
Like watching it, I was like, how did we get, like, I don't understand how some of the car, it was Liam, like part of it, but like their reaction times are insane.
Yeah.
Like managing to like avoid like a collision like that.
Yeah.
Just to like catch you up, but you would have watched the race, whatever. Lap 1, turn 2, Kimi and Max collided. It was Kimi's fault, like 100%. But a lot of the discourse online afterwards is like, if that had been George, like Max would have been so pissed, so angry, trying to start a fight. But because it was Kimi, like he's just a rookie, like it was like Max almost like was more like understanding.
Yeah, and like the joke is that Kimi is one of Max's children, like one of the guys that he's like inherited as a rookie. So no, you're absolutely right. But because they both drive for Mercedes, Kimi and George, like, do you think that the first thought was motherfucking George?
Probably. Max probably thought it was George.
Yeah, that's
100%. And the commentators talking about how Kimi was sitting in his car, like waiting.
He's like waiting for Max Verstappen to leave.
Like me too. Like 100% me too. If I was in that situation and I just hit the world champion, I'd be like, I'm not getting out of this car. I'm staying here. You can.
This is my home now.
I'm done. I can't.
But you know what? It seemed, we don't know the conversation. It seemed like respectable.
He didn't seem mad.
I'm sure Kimi took full. Well, he did on his radio message. He said he had a rear lockup. We could see it very clearly what had happened. So I don't think that there was much argument in that conversation.
No.
Like
I mean, it was like purely accidental and like probably not it's different when there's like racing incidents that are like this could have been avoided 100%. But like for Kimi, it was just like just shitty lockup is what it was. But Max seemed like very level-headed about it, especially for like this is Red Bull's, like this is Red Bull Ring, right? Like this,
and he has lots of fans that come to this race, especially because is Zandvoort on the calendar this year? I don't. Then it's not next year. Then okay, but
I'm 90% sure.
I wasn't sure if last year was the last year or if it's this year.
Schedule. You have UK. The Dutch Grand Prix, the Netherlands. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's here.
Okay. Well, going forward, because we know that Zandvoort will be leaving the calendar, this is going to be Max Verstappen's home race. Yeah. And it still acts as one, honestly, because it's the Red Bull Ring. And
it was not a good weekend for Red Bull.
It was not a good weekend for Red Bull, no.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Anytime, I know we're kind of all over the place, but anytime I see, like, the V-Carbs finish ahead of even just one Red Bull driver, I'm just like, those are the consequences of your own actions.
That was happening, though. Like, with Checo, that was happening. Unfortunately, with Liam, that had happened in the first 3 races. So, yeah, like, that is... But when it's... I know that Max was taken out, like, lap 2 and no fault of his own, but when it's both V-Carb drivers that are ahead of both Red Bull drivers, that's when I'm like...
Yuki finished last out of everyone that, like...
Yeah.
Like, there were a handful of retirements, and Yuki was at the end of that pack. Like, what was he doing, you know? I mean, like, again, we have this talk, like, every week, I swear to God, but, like, are they going to bump Yuki out now?
No.
They won't.
No. If not because they don't want the PR nightmare, because Honda is paying for Yuki.
Only this year.
I'm sure. Yes.
As of next year now.
Well, next year's a different story. Completely different story. Who knows if Max Verstappen's even going to be around next year? Let's be real.
I just want to be a full-time dad. Did you see the video of the little girl, like, in
the
paddock, like,
yes.
running to Max?
It was very
that
sweet.
Was so heartwarming. I was like, this is just like, it just melts me. Also, during the race, I heard the commentators talk about Franco. I mean, we'll get to the part about Franco and Oscar in a minute.
Yeah.
But I heard the commentators talk about Franco, and they said he's on a race-by-race, like, contract with Alpine. And I'm like,
is that true?
That's still happening, apparently.
Oh.
Which is, I thought that maybe it was done. Like, I figured maybe, you know, he's signed on for the rest of the year, but I guess it's still like a race-by-race thing. And Jack's still
around
to the races. Like, he's still there. So...
Excuse me.
So, like, imagine being Franco in that situation. Like, knowing at the end of any race, you could just be canned. Be like, oh, actually, we don't like your performance. Like, you're done. Like, give the guy a contract. You know what I mean?
I guess they're not sold yet.
What do they need him to do? I mean, to be fair, he's not amazing. Like, he's in the Alpine. It's not, like, Pierre is definitely outperforming him. But Pierre is outperforming Jack, too. Like, I don't really see a huge... There's, like, if you're comparing Jack and Franco, like, there's really... They both weren't succeeding in the Alpine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know if they're comparing Franco and Jack, because it seemed like the writing was on the wall for Jack.
Yeah.
Like, before the season even started.
No, it was.
So I don't know if it's a comparison or what they're looking for from Franco, but the team itself is in disarray. Like, it's just... You just don't know what's going to happen next. We joked about it when we posted the driver replacement graphics of ourselves.
It's us.
We poked fun at it because that's exactly how it felt for a while. Like, an Alpine breaking news was coming up like every day. So yeah, I'm not sure. That's odd. I didn't hear that, but I don't know. What does Alpine want?
I don't know.
Bring back Cyril. Like, honestly, there's one man that can help Alpine right now. It's Cyril.
I don't think he wants to go back to that team.
No, definitely not.
He's done. They're good. Yeah, there's cracks in that foundation, but that's okay. It's all right.
Someone's got to be last.
Well, this week it was Yuki.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I don't even think about Yuki anymore, to be honest. Like, it's unfortunate. Like, ever since his move to Red Bull happened, I'm not paying as much attention to, like, how he's doing, because I think
it's irrelevant. Like,
right.
That's how I see it. It's
because we're so used to like the second Red Bull driver, like not really doing much. And Yuki's falling into that as well. So like, it's not like I'm shocked or surprised by his finishing or starting positions, to be honest, anymore.
No, not at all. Like, yes, he's an incredible driver, and like he was someone that deserved a chance in that Red Bull seat. But I'm not shocked that this is where we are. That like he's not performing anywhere near Max's level. Like we knew this going into like this season, that if Yuki was whoever was gonna be next to Max, like they were screwed.
And just to reiterate, that's because it's a car problem and not a driver problem. So,
my dad yesterday, was it yesterday? We were talking about it, and he was like, these guys are professional athletes. They're professional drivers. Why can't they just drive the car? And I was like, and I literally was like, do you not listen to our podcast? Like, do you not listen to us talk about how
he hears me swear once and then he turns it off?
Probably. I was like, do you not listen to us talk about like every week how the car is literally built for Max? Like, he's like, it's not a driver problem. Anyway, it just made me laugh.
Which to be fair, like from a technical aspect, like you and I don't know what that entails. I did see Alex Albon explain it one time just based on the sensitivity and how different it is, but I don't know how different the setup of the Red Bull for Max is from literally any other F1 car on the grid, just because that's a more technical aspect of racing that I'm learning but not fully understanding quite yet, and that's the honest truth.
We're not going to pretend to know either.
No. For sure. No. We know that the car is set up for Max, and we can see very clearly by, unfortunately, like 4 talented drivers being unable to drive the car, that this is true. So, yeah.
Did you match your hat to your shirt today?
I always match my hat to whatever I'm wearing, yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen you wear that hat before.
I love this hat. My only problem is that my mom used to tell me growing up that like brown was an ugly color.
What?
Which a lot of times brown can be ugly.
But
I love a chocolate brown.
Yeah.
And so because I was like brainwashed into thinking brown was ugly for so many years, I don't have anything like that matches. Like I don't have like shoes that match or like pants that match really. So like I'm trying with the brown, but I have to like introduce it to my wardrobe, if that makes sense.
I think it looks good.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Sorry, off topic.
I literally have like a story, like a backstory for everything. So I don't really watch movies. Like I don't do like.
Where are you going with this?
Let's just wait.
Okay.
I don't. If anyone says like, oh, you know, like this movie quote or you know like this from this movie, like I don't know actually. Like I actually have no clue unless Adam Sandler's in it. I really haven't watched it, to be honest with you. So my friends were compiling a list of like really like insane movies that I've never seen, and we in this discussion ended up finding out why it is that I haven't seen any of these movies. Movies were traumatic for me growing up because this is ridiculous.
What's happening here?
I'm telling you that I have a backstory for everything, and I'm giving you an example of that by giving you a backstory. Okay. When between the years of like 2007, 2008, and like 2012, where we lived, there was unfortunately a bed bug infestation at all of the movie theaters. So my mom never let us go to a movie theater. And then when it finally seemed to die down, we were allowed to go to the movies, but we had to wear rubber boots, pants without pockets, so like yoga pants. My hair had to be tied back like really tight, and our shirts without pockets too, if we could. And then also we had to cover like our extremities with Vicks Vapor Rub because apparently that deters bed bugs. So I didn't go to the theaters for those years where there was the infestation, and then I was traumatized after that because going to the theaters was not this like fun, easygoing experience. So I've got lots of lore.
That's insane. Okay. All right. We don't have time to unpack all of that.
Just take it as fact, you know? There's nothing else to unpack. Now I like movies. I love going to the movies. I saw Materialists. Did you see it?
No. We also need to watch F1. But I want to talk to you about the F1 movie.
Okay. I have to tell you something.
Did you see it?
No, but I'm going tomorrow night with my family. My mom bought all of us tickets and told me, and I was like, oh.
That's okay because my dad really wants to see it. So I was going to ask if I could might even go with him tomorrow night.
Yeah. Beauty.
As long as we both see it.
Yeah.
By next time we record.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like we're the only people in the entire universe that haven't seen it yet.
But to be fair, we were both out of the city this weekend.
It also came out on Thursday. Like, everybody saw it before that. Okay, you guys are so much cooler than us. You get the screeners and you get to go to the premieres.
We don't have a premiere in Winnipeg.
We live in
Winnipeg.
Winnipeg.
Can't just show up and like, you know what I mean?
A red carpet has never touched down here.
Never. We had the Junos in 2014.
I went.
Did you?
Yep. I have lore for everything. I did go to the Junos.
Okay. So I took a nap earlier, and in my nap, we were about to record the podcast. And first of all, you had a painting that you wanted to add to this background, and it was a photo of like a baby Max Verstappen, like a oil on canvas type painting, but your hand was also in it, and I knew it was your hand because it was your bracelets.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, "Where did you get this?" And you're like, "I had it commissioned," and I was like,
well,
okay.
My hand doing what?
I don't know. Just like in the frame somehow. And but it was like a baby Max Verstappen, like in a race suit, but it was clearly a baby. And then you were trying to hang it up, and you kept putting it above everything. And I was like, Hannah, like it won't get caught on camera if you put it up there. But you were getting so mad, and I was like, fucking do it then. Like, I was like, you put it there anyway. But in it, I don't know if this is actually gonna work. Like. It was such a good idea in my dream
for me to actually get it commissioned.
No, that was just the first part of the dream. That was weird. But in we were talking about the F1 movie, and we were talking about scenes that this was in my dream, and I don't like, we can cut this because this makes no sense. I'm trying to just like recall it, but like we guessed like what scenes probably aren't in the movie, but like could be like stupid. Like I don't know how to explain it, but in my dream it made sense.
Like, give an example. Like
Brad Pitt and Fernando Alonso talking about how they're the oldest drivers on the grid.
But then what do we do if it actually is? If we actually do see it?
I don't know.
So we should compile a list then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to see Sonny Hayes and Fernando Alonso talking about how they're old.
Or like who's
not
older.
old, but you know, old.
Yeah.
Because he's like 50 in the movie. He's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah. Well, maybe not because Fernando Alonso. But,
also, yeah.
What do I want to see but probably won't? I want to see the oldies. So if that's just Fernando and Mr. Pitt, being like, oh my God, I'm like terrified of these young guys.
like gossiping about the rookies.
Yeah. Like, you know, like, you know, the song Teenagers Scared the Living Shit Out of Me. And that's just playing as like Charles and Lando and Oscar. I guess those are not even like the young guys really, but like are walking down the pit lane near them. They're like, oh my God, like I'm like so terrified of it.
Because this was filmed over the span of a few years. I know it won't be in the movie, but I want there to be a part where like there is visibly Nick DeVries in this movie. And then Sonny Hayes makes a comment about being like, about him not being there because this was like filmed like within the span of whatever years. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
or like him being like, fucking Logan Sargent, he won't be here for much longer.
Yeah, like
or he's like,
I want one.
He's like, I'm the best American driver since Logan Sargent. Wait, is he American in the movie or British? I literally don't know a thing.
I think he's American. Okay. He's an American driver because the other driver
is British.
Yes.
Also, that man is so fine.
I know.
Damson Idris.
Yep. What's his character's name?
Okay, the man's name is in the movie. Damson Idris's character's name is Joshua Pierce.
Sonny Hayes is such a like star name. Like if I know this is all fake, but if my name was Sonny Hayes, I would not be a race car driver. I would be like for sure an actor or a singer.
Also, let's be real. Sonny Hayes is a NASCAR name, not a Formula One name.
Oh, absolutely. That is not a Formula One name.
And then he has a son named Sonny Hayes Jr. And then like a few years after he retires, he buys a racing team and
Hayes
calls it
Motorsport.
SHR, Sonny Hayes Racing.
Stop.
I'm on one right now.
That's so good though. But he buys a NASCAR team?
Yeah.
Do you think he ever dabbles in IndyCar?
Oh.
Sonny Hayes probably goes for the Indy 500.
No. The real Sonny Hayes though, Brad Pitt, I saw him in an interview talking about how much he loves IndyCar. Did you see it?
No.
Oh my God. I will show you right now because I thought it was fake. I thought it was very fake. Or I thought that like someone from the IndyCar social team was able to like make it seem like he was talking about how he loves IndyCar, but I don't know. What's it? It was on IndyCar on Fox.
Of course IndyCar posted it.
Okay.
You know, MotoGP races, there's just not enough of them. No, there's not. So then you start dipping into F1 a little bit. Yeah. Now there's not enough F1 races, so I start dipping into Indy. You watching Indy?
No.
Whoa, Indy's great. Oh, I love it.
I think it was on Armchair Expert, actually. That looks like
Oh my God. Brad Pitt likes IndyCar.
Yeah.
Okay,
Slay,
so
right?
Sunny Hayes would for sure. I don't know who wins in this movie. I feel like I saw like I have no idea who wins the championship. I think I saw something that they recorded both Joshua winning and Sunny winning.
Oh, just in case?
Just like that way they couldn't, like people that were there watching, like watching it being filmed, like they wouldn't be spoiled.
Oh, smart.
Which makes sense.
Yes, it's like a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Tom was told he was going to a wedding
To a
and it was
wedding.
actually Tony Stark's funeral.
Don't know
kind
how
of
they
thing.
did that still, because my face would look much different at a wedding than a funeral. But,
I don't know what's wrong.
you know.
Whatever. But I think if Sunny Hayes like wins the championship, he would for sure go for the Triple Crown.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
Like absolutely he is someone that would go and then not retire until he wins the Triple Crown.
Yeah, I think
see
so
that.
too. We know so far from nothing about this movie.
I'm so far removed. I haven't like
But it's not out of ignorance. It's about we wanted to be like surprised because no, I don't need to share any lore. But like we wanted to be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how many times a driver, like an actual F1 driver, looks into the camera.
Apparently George does.
That does not shock me. George is probably looking
Water
for it.
is wet, baby.
Okay, maybe I'll try watching it tomorrow too. That'll be fun.
I'm really excited.
Which theater are you going to?
The VIP one.
Okay. She got money.
Okay, wait. On the title of movies, on the topic of movies, are you going to see Materialists?
Yeah, but I heard it wasn't good.
It wasn't.
Fuck.
But how can it not be good? But it wasn't. Like,
You
those
literally have
three-
Dakota Johnson, Chris Evans, Pedro Pascal.
Dude, I know. And Pedro Pascal was in it for like 20 minutes.
Are you kidding me?
Deadass.
I'm not
serious.
watching it. I'm waiting for it to come out then on Prime or something.
I think that's probably a fair,
20 minutes.
like barely, like maybe 30.
I'm not watching it.
And here's the thing. They like kind of tried to make Chris Evans like not appealing.
It's Chris Evans.
Come on. What are we doing?
Okay.
That's a big fucking fail. Okay.
Okay, let's go back to F1.
Yeah.
Time are we at? Oh, we're only at 27 minutes. We're good.
I'm so tired right now.
That's okay. I also want to talk about the race still. I want to talk about it, but I want to do like a little Love Island segment too.
Okay, Slay.
That's fine. That's what I say. Stop hiccuping.
Yep. I also have something to say. But
Okay.
you do your Love Island thing first.
I want, if this is in no way us objectifying the drivers at all, but who do you think would be like an OG? Who would be a bombshell? And who would be in Casa Amor?
Oh, I love this question because you're right. It's not about like, it's really more about the personality.
Yeah.
Like who's there like to establish connections from day one and who's like coming in to step on toes.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. So there's usually 5.
Like OGs.
5 or 6
Yeah.
OGs. 5 will go.
All I know, Lando is Casa Amor.
You think Lando's a Casa Amor
I
guy?
for sure think Lando is Casa Amor.
Okay. I think Lewis is a bombshell.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, yeah.
He knows.
But like the first bombshell.
Yeah, like he
Yeah.
knows who he is. Like he knows he's better than the OGs.
Yeah. And
Right?
his intro package is like, I don't even need to say anything.
I'm Lewis Hamilton. Like, that's it. Okay, I think Alex Albon is an OG.
Yes.
He's there
and
to
he's
find
coupled up from
love.
day one.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's closed off.
Yeah,
Like,
closed off.
He doesn't even want to take part in the challenges.
Doesn't really even care about winning it. He's like, I was here to find love, and that's
and
what I
found
did.
love and I'm good. Absolutely. Pierre.
Ooh. I need my list of.
You need the list of drivers.
I need my list of drivers. George, day one.
George is day one, but he wishes he was a bombshell. I feel like when George got the letter saying that they wanted him to be in Love Island, he was actually mad that it wasn't for a bombshell. He was mad. Like, he's like, do you know what I mean? That's how I see it.
Okay.
Because the way I see it, that if I was on Love Island and I was like an original, I'd be like, I'm not pretty enough to be a bombshell. Like, that's how my mind would go. So I feel
don't know if that's how it goes.
That's how I see it.
Okay.
I know that's not true,
Yeah.
but like, that's how I see it.
Okay. You think that's how George sees it too?
George would see it. He'd be mad that he's not a bombshell.
Okay. What do I want to do? What do I think Mr. George Russell would do? Yeah, OG, but like he's kind of like struggling to find a connection.
Oh, absolutely. It's giving Austin.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he like doesn't really like, he makes tea for himself, but like doesn't really care about making tea or breakfast for anybody else.
Yeah, he does it when one of the other guys reminds him to.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, that's the vibes.
Charles.
I'm back and forth on Charles right now, but I'm gonna go with OG for Charles too.
I would say bombshell for Charles.
I'm gonna say bombshell for Carlos.
Carlos is Casa more.
What? Why are you're? What do you think? I think that because I've watched Love Island for like many years longer than
fair.
you, I
I've
have
only
a
watched
different.
it for like 3 years.
Yeah.
The way I see Casa More is like, I mean, you're coming in last and you're like there to make like, I know like Casa More couples like, or people don't really last long, but they like, they're there and they have like a very short amount of time to make a statement and like make themselves known. And I feel like Carlos Sainz walks into a room and it's like, yep, that's him.
That's why I think he's bombshell.
Interesting. Okay.
But I guess it's kind of the same idea, like bombshells and Casa Amor peeps.
If Carlos Sainz asked me if I was closed off, I'd say no.
I'm not addressing that. I'm actually done with the question. What do you think Lance does? Who gets kicked off first? Let's answer that. Lance?
For sure.
Yeah.
Lance doesn't make the effort to try to couple up with anyone.
He's the one who's like, I'm just a slow burner.
Yeah, but it's like, buddy, you're not even trying.
I enjoyed that a lot, actually. I think Esteban is the first kicked off the island for me.
I think Esteban would try too hard.
Yeah.
To like make connections with everybody, and then ultimately like he doesn't make a connection with anybody.
Yeah. Are you watching? You're watching USA right now, right? Who's your favorite guy?
It was Taylor until he like completely just didn't choose Alondra. You know what I mean? I like Nick.
Okay, yeah, I like Nick too,
like
but
my
I like Nick, but like Pepe, holy shit.
I can't see Pepe. Like, I don't know what it is about Pepe.
Pepe's my guy.
You know who else I like? I haven't watched yesterday's episode yet. I'm watching it after we record.
Oh boy.
I've seen things.
I know when Barista Josh texts me, oh my God, are you watching this? I'm like, oh, it's going to be good.
I'm going to watch it. I'll watch it. Oh, hang on. I don't think I did. But I like the guy who's like Nick 2.0. He kind of looks like Jack Harlow.
Oh, Ellen?
That's him.
They're trying really hard not to call him Elan.
That's funny.
I think something like that.
I like him. But I just think he's cute.
Yeah.
But he also seems really sweet.
He does look like wannabe Jack Harlow.
Right?
You're totally right. Okay, so I was scrolling the TikTok today when I got home, and I saw this TikTok. Aston Martin did it, okay?
Okay.
It's their home Grand Prix this weekend.
Oh, they were reacting.
And they were reacting to people's TikToks.
Yeah.
Why? What do we have to do?
To be noticed by Aston Martin.
What do we have to do?
I don't know.
You know what? This sounds really insensitive because we just hosted a dinner with them. But I'm not talking like... I'm not talking like notice like in that way. I'm talking like we are the only creators. Not really. We are one of the only creators that post about Lance
all the time,
like consistently.
So like, what does Aston Martin never see it? You can't tell me that not a single one of our Live Love Lance videos like has never just shown up on Aston Martin admin's like For You page or Reels. Like,
and what are the odds? I was thinking about it too after I watched it. Like, what are the odds if we ever spoke to Lance one day that we'd be like, hey, we're Hannah and Emma, we do Track Talk podcast, and he'd be like, oh yeah, I've seen your clips. Like, what are the odds?
0.
You think so?
I don't think he would. No, at all.
I don't. I think maybe I'm Delulu, but like I don't actually care if he sees it or not. So I don't think I'm being Delulu. Either. I'm like, I actually think he would. I might be crazy.
I don't know. I don't think.
Let us know, you guys.
But come on. Like, how? What do you mean? What do you mean Aston Martin doesn't know we exist? Do you know what I mean?
Well, they do.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean?
I look, that was my first thought when I'm like, so am I gonna see a TikTok of ours come up here right now?
No.
And all the TikToks that I saw were like very similar to trends that we've done, and I was like, what are we doing wrong?
I don't know.
Are we adding the wrong people?
We can't tag Lance
or
Aston Martin.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, we have to do something different. We have to do something different because I was like, oh.
Even our rebrand that we did like a year and a half ago. Do you remember that? That was so fun.
Look, I'm like not opposed to like going green.
It's a good
We're
color.
both Slytherins.
Yeah. It's a good color.
I'm really not opposed to it.
We could do a rebrand. We'll think about it.
We'll see. Our manager's like, girls,
like, stop. We just created a deck for you.
Like,
it's red.
Please focus on what's important. They're like, take a fucking photo shoot.
Yeah, we need to get photos of us. We don't have any.
No,
like, we don't have any like good professional photos of us together.
I know.
We'll get on that before the end of the summer.
Well, yeah, you know what? Let's put it in ink. Must do it.
What is that, a librarian stamp? What was
that? God, I want to share my lore about everything. Do you watch Phineas and Ferb? Did you?
I don't currently, but I did.
So season 5 just came out. Like, it came back. So they did like a concert to like reignite interest in it, because like they didn't do a season for like years, like since we were younger. Yeah. And so then I saw them performing some of the old songs, and they were doing the librarian. I Ain't Got Rhythm. Yeah. And so I was watching it last night, and that's probably what that was. I have lore for everything. I just need to shut the fuck up. Sorry, Dad. I need to take medication. The race? Yeah. Guys, Wimbledon also started today, but I'm so tired.
That's tennis.
That is tennis. Good job.
Smart.
Mm-hmm. I'm really tired.
Okay. Anyway, Oscar's comment about Alpine about Alpine.
How did you say let's talk about the race and then go to the very end of the race?
Because that was the most smart part.
No. Well,
I think so.
Look,
as a professional hater, I respect it.
Lap 2 to 3 were some of the best racing I have seen all season. Like, it was clean. It was entertaining. You didn't know who was going to come out ahead.
But like, you're still at the edge, on the edge of your seat the entire time, because you're like, we're all thinking about Canada. Like, that's all in the back of our minds about Lando just like completely screwing himself over. Mm-hmm. So we're like, Oscar's going to do that now. He didn't. Thank God.
Yeah. And you know what? After that, like, there really was it didn't seem like much opportunity to have a fight like that again later on in the race. And maybe it's just because at that point they're like, you had your go, take care of your tires now. Mm-hmm. But it was like for a race that ended how it started in terms of podium positioning, it was very entertaining.
Yeah.
Which is not always the case.
No, like typically that happens in Monaco and it's always a boring race. But it was entertaining. I will say, I feel like, I don't know if that was just me that felt this, but we got like no screen time of the Ferraris.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Because they were just
like, I was just watching. I'm like, okay, Charles is still in third. He's still running third. He's still running third. He's still running third. Great, no problem.
He's finishing third.
Like, I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I guess like the less you see of Ferrari on your screen, honestly, sometimes is better. But here's the thing: like the McLarens right now, it's like if they're up front to start the race, good fucking luck. It's like Max.
They're finishing at the front.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Unless, Lando and Oscar have like these fights that end up, I don't know, causing one of them damage. But if they don't qualify, or if they qualify P1 or P2, that's how it's going to finish.
Yeah, they are miles ahead
in
the team stat, like constructors right now with 417 points. The fact that Red Bull is in fourth with 162 points and like Mercedes and Ferrari 210 and 209, like they're like
love this battle with Mercedes and Ferrari now.
I love it so much. I'm just like shocked that Red Bull is. I mean, I'm not, but I am.
Well, this is the unfortunate part. You have one driver getting all your points for you, and if he is in an unfortunate situation like he was this past weekend, then you get no points.
You're getting none.
You don't have anybody to fall back on.
No.
So, and a lot of these other teams, Oscar screws up or Orlando screws up, the other one's going to finish in the points, and it's going to be all fine and dandy, honestly.
Yeah.
And that's not how Red Bull is feeling.
Well, even Max, he was on he started 7th today. Like, he started pretty far down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. He was complaining about the car, of course.
Yeah, maybe he was just ready for the weekend to be over. As soon as he got hit, he was like, okay, goodbye, I'm done.
Yeah, but you know what? They don't have time off. Like, we have another race this weekend. It's Silverstone. Silverstone is always a big spectacle.
Yeah.
It's a home race for a lot of drivers, a lot of teams.
We have 4 British drivers. Ollie, Lando, George, and Lewis, right? Am I not missing one, right? That's it.
I think that's it, yeah.
Almost a boy band.
Almost. They're one away. Do you ever think...
No. Say it.
Do you ever think about the Viva La Vida performance that One Direction made on the X Factor?
Yeah. With the shoulder.
Okay, so the hairy shoulder. Like, I love that fucking video. Hairy shoulder. Niall looks like he's possessed by the ghost of Frank Sinatra.
You guys, if you're not watching this on YouTube, like, you got it right now.
And then Zayn the entire time is just in the back, like, but his like background vocals are far too loud. And Louis' fuck ass capri pants.
Oh my god.
Like, it's the best. And I remember watching it, like, when they were on X Factor and being like, boys. Oh my god, best performance yet.
Like, they're amazing.
The shoulder is crazy.
Doesn't one of them go like this at one point?
I don't recall that part.
It's like, maybe it was Niall, like, part of when he did it.
Niall's given shimmy. Anyways,
absolutely.
That you said boy band, and that's what I thought of.
That's Ollie, George,
do you think we'll
Lando,
see any members of One Direction?
Lewis. I think Lewis. Did I say Lewis? Lewis is a driver. I think Louis has to be there because it's his job. Louis Tomlinson will be there.
You think Lewis will be there? Oh my god, Lewis.
I hope Lewis is there.
I'm dumb though, because the races that we see them attend are usually in the States. Like, I'm pretty sure Louis was at Miami. I don't know if Niall's been. Zayn was at one of them. I don't remember.
Do you remember
where.
2 years ago when I told you that I get Niall and Lando mixed up?
Does that still happen?
It's still happening. Because you say Niall and I'm like, Lando has to be there. Like, it's his race. But their names are, like, in my mind, their names are the same. Niall Horan, Lando Norris.
You said it correctly.
Okay. I didn't think I did.
But the way, you know what? I've always thought you were nuts for this, but like the way that you just said that, I understood you for like a fraction of a second. So yeah, maybe you're onto something.
I think in parallel universes, they're brothers.
Or maybe they're just like variants of one another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Great.
Tom Holland's in there somewhere too.
Yeah.
Just because he kind of looks like not Lando. Fuck.
We have to end this episode. We haven't even talked about the fucking race.
I mean, it's fine.
Anyways, yeah. Once the McLarens caught up to traffic is when we got the most entertaining part of the race.
It was so good.
And this brings up, of course, the conversation of what is protocol with lapped cars? Because did Franco end up getting a penalty for that?
I don't think he did.
And I don't think he did either. But he should have let him go by. That's the thing.
I think you have a certain amount of time until you absolutely have to let him go by, until you get that penalty. And so I think he just like waited until the last possible second.
Which is really dumb because it just makes people hate you.
Yeah, okay, I lied. Franco came close to contact with Piastri in the closing stages of the race when the McLaren man was putting a lap on him, an instant that earned the driver a 5-second penalty, but it did not impact his finishing position.
Franco's.
So we got 5-second penalty, but
right, but it could have impacted Oscars.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in that case,
about this because like we think like it makes sense to penalize the driver that like caused the issue, but I'm like, but what happens to the driver that actually was like impacted?
Right.
Like you don't give them an extra like point.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. No. Yeah, you're right.
That, though.
Yeah, I don't.
But his little comment like Alpine still managing. Did he swear? Alpine still managing to fuck me over after all these years. Isn't that what he said?
He said after all these years, Alpine finally manages to fuck me over.
Yeah. Which is, they didn't broadcast it immediately.
No.
It was like after the fact, but which also still kind of blows my mind because of the whole FIA swearing thing. The fact that they made it public.
That's why I thought it was fake when I first saw it, to be honest.
I did too, because I was like, there's no way.
Like, also, Oscar Piastri said that. That's my other thought.
I mean, I believe he said it. Like, he hates Alpine.
But he got the last laugh. Like, he doesn't have any reason to like continue that with Alpine. And he's never mentioned it before this. So that's why I was like,
maybe he says little comments like that before and they've just never aired it.
Maybe.
Seems like a first time.
Yeah. Mind you, it didn't affect anything, but it definitely was cause for a conversation. Mm-hmm. So I'm happy Franco got penalized.
Do you wish it was more like Indy where they didn't have to pass or they didn't have to let the cars pass? Because in IndyCar, you don't have to move over.
No, I don't like that.
You wish that it
No, I just
okay, explain yourself. What do you prefer? How IndyCar does it or
how F1 does it?
Yeah.
But Franco didn't do that.
No.
So I just need him to like listen to the rules. Like I just don't like that because there's no reason at that point for Franco to get in Oscar's way. You're a lap down.
What are you gaining at this
exactly,
point? Nothing.
Exactly. You're a lap down. You're not going to finish.
You don't even have a contract, buddy.
Well, now we know it doesn't even you're not going to finish in the points. Getting in someone's way who's at the front of the pack is only going to make you look like an asshole or like you look like a bad sport, which like I don't think anyone actively wants that. So that's why I was like,
and typically the drivers are pretty good about moving out of the way.
Totally.
So like, but that also makes me think like, was one of his engineers not saying something? Like his,
right?
Do you know what I mean?
Right. And that's what I mean by protocol. Like,
yeah. So we did get a penalty for it.
Yeah.
But it didn't affect his position at all.
Right.
Oh well. Liam Lawson finishing P6.
Yep. We already talked about that.
Also a highlight.
Happy about that.
Thank God.
Yeah.
He has more points than Yuki now.
Good for him. I'm happy for him. I don't like to weigh in on that situation.
That's fair.
Yeah. I don't think I have anything else.
I don't think I do either.
Charles
was consistent, and that's all we can ask for the Ferraris.
Yep.
There weren't any strategy errors.
Mm-hmm.
It was a clean race from both Charles and Lewis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, George was really racing Lewis for a little while there, and that was really entertaining to watch. Again, it was just like good, clean racing. But other than that,
do you think Lando's going to win Silverstone?
I don't know.
It's his home race.
It is his home race, and he hasn't won it.
I think I'd like to see that.
I think if that was Lewis's first race win in Ferrari, I would be even more ecstatic.
What I want to see. Yeah.
I know Lewis won it last year as like a parting with Mercedes. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I liked watching.
I would love to see his first race win with Ferrari.
Let's get an all British podium. Let's get a Lewis win, Lando second, Ollie third.
That's wishful thinking. Speaking
I don't want to put George on the podium.
Yeah, why didn't you have a George on the podium?
He's already got a few. Let's get Ollie up there.
Okay. Lewis has like 99 race wins, but
I put Lewis first.
I know.
Okay, this is not a hot like take. Lewis for sure deserves to win Silverstone over George. It's Lewis Hamilton.
I'm not arguing that.
Okay.
instead of Ollie being P3.
I like Ollie more than I like George.
Okay, that's why. Now we're down to the root of the problem.
That's not your problem.
Depends who you ask. To me, it's a bit of a problem.
Lewis first, Lando second, Ollie third, George P4. I'll give you that.
All right. I was gonna say something. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. Kick.
Sauber.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Points. Double points.
I'm like, yeah, Emma.
Double, what did they do? And Gabby's first point.
Why would I possibly be bringing Sauber up in this very moment?
There's a celebration video. There were a few that were really cute. First of Fernando like getting out of the car and congratulating him because he's under Fernando's management team. Yeah. But also a video of like Bortoletto like,
why was Nico in a towel?
a towel? But congratulations to Kick, okay?
No, genuinely.
Double
that's
points.
Where I was going. That's where I was hoping this conversation would go when I brought it up.
Oh no, my mind went to why is Nico Hülkenberg just in a towel?
Which I mean, like, yeah, like why was he in a towel? But at the same time, I want to shower after I'm sweaty.
I guess.
Anyways, congratulations to them. I never would have put that on my bingo card.
Kick double point. Absolutely not. They didn't get any points maybe like a few last year, but the year before, none. Literally none. 2 years ago, they had 0 points.
Was last year not their first year?
Last year was, well, I guess I'm just thinking of like Alfa Romeo.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Like the team itself, like having 0 points.
I don't think they had any points last year either.
I think Zhou finished 10th at one point.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong. But congratulations. Good weekend overall if you're not a fan of Red Bull. Okay? That's all I can say. And now we have Silverstone next. And I do like this race.
Yep. We also have Mid-Ohio for IndyCar this weekend. So we do have a double race weekend. It's also Wimbledon. A
lot of sports.
Yep. Watch the sport. Also, if you guys have not already seen, we did finally post our Montreal recap episode. It came out last Friday. I know it's a weird time for us. I'm gonna just like lay it out on the line here. Basically, we were waiting all week, over a week and a half actually, for the Jessica Hawkins interview audio to be sent to us.
Never was.
It never was. So by Friday, I was like, I made the executive decision that the episode's going up. Like with Austria starting, I knew that if we didn't post Montreal before then, like no one was going to care anymore. I mean, I already think that like waiting so long was detrimental, but if you haven't seen it, because again, it came out on a weird time, please go watch it. Our stories of just being in Montreal is still very fun. Like when I was editing it, I was like, man, this is a really good episode. And we are still actively trying to get the Jessica footage and audio up for either another episode or a YouTube video on its own or TikTok clips, whatever it might be. We're still trying to make it work. We're not going down without a fight.
Yeah. Well said.
Because you know what? It was like honestly such an inspiring interview. I think it would be really,
I want to share it with everybody.
Yeah, I think it would be really upsetting if really only like the 45 people in that room could hear it. I want the masses too. So so we're trying, you guys. I just hope that you know that like if there isn't an episode coming out like ASAP, it's not because we don't want it to. It's because
there's usually a reason.
There's usually like there's some stuff on the back end. You know, when we started this podcast, I didn't think there was going to be like logistics and like admin. And now there is. It's like a job.
It really is.
So yeah, please go watch or listen to that. Hoping Emma can actually get it on YouTube this week as well. So if you want to watch it, then you can. Yeah. Yeah. Also, you guys, I'm just gonna say it, like, shameless plug. If you haven't followed us on Instagram yet, could you please? Because we have been at 12.9K for a long time.
It's insane. We hit 13K for 6 hours once, and then it went back down to 12.9.
And we've been there for like at least 6 months.
I don't understand what we're doing wrong.
Me neither. And we get new followers like all the time.
And like our personal ones get new followers. And I'm like, what? Yeah. Where can you follow Track Talk?
Yeah. So
can you,
if for some reason
it goes down to 12.8, I quit.
Please don't do that to us. Okay. But like if you don't for some reason, if you like searched up and you're like, oh my God, like there's no shame in following late. Please, we would really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Also, no, I think that's all. I think that's all. I think that's all for me.
Okay, this was a mostly Austria GP recap with a little bit of everything off topic.
We're Track Talk.
Good job for now.